Hello, I just thought I would log on and do our response to everybody's posts this evening, get a jump on it since everybody posted so early, which was awesome, for our first module. And I thought I'd go in order as we all appear on the list in Blackboard. So starting with Jonathan, hi, great to see you again, hear from you again. I think, God bless you, I think it's very refreshing to hear your honesty. I agree. A lot of these terms we don't talk about every day, so I agree that a lot of these definitions are new to us. So I also agree that it's frustrating to be in student services and trying to help students and looking at a transcript, which for all intents and purposes is looking at a student's oftentimes ability to test. And not so much their passion for something and the desire they have to work harder and do better, or perhaps even a rough patch they've had in their lives with their families, and so to be supportive of these students and continue to help kind of bridge the gap. Maybe a student is from an area where they didn't have great schools and so was passed through potentially and did not have the background of the mathematics or the sciences that they need to be successful in the health field. So kudos to you for that. I think that was a great example of social justice and perhaps, trying to both point students in the right direction, but at the same time be fair and equitable to them. And, a lot of students don't want to continuously change their programs. So you want to try and help them along the best way you can, but also encourage people to try and to go for careers that might not be the kinds of careers they've been pushed towards their earlier years. Kevin, I think I agree with you, acknowledging a problem, an action to eliminate and accept, what am I trying to say here? Acknowledging the problem and an action to eliminate and accept responsibility. The social justice being a vehicle, I thought that was a really neat way to approach what we've learned in this module. Adam, I agree that a smaller level seems to be a good approach to taking on this problem, but I also think the text, when it talks about the micro, macro, and meso levels, sounds very believable when we hear stories in the news and you hear and experience these types of social injustices throughout our lifetimes. The videos were really neat. It did help put a different slant on it, though I'm not an economist by any means, so I had to kind of look some things up to understand exactly everything that was being talked about. And it is true that some folks end up working a whole lot harder to get to the same place as some people who have things handed to them. But I also think there's some other things at play when it comes to social justice or injustices. I think sometimes people are treated a certain way in a certain region where they are also not represented. I think some people with disabilities, some people who are even overweight, or any kind of stigma that society does not generally favor, can have a harder time in life. And last but certainly not least, Dolores. I thought it was great when you said that at birth, we are taught to socialize and we don't see these things in others. We see everybody as equal and as peers. And I see that even with my 3-year-old, who will run to the playground at preschool and play with every child with every ounce of his being, and until that child wrongs them or hurts them or is mean to them or something, kids don't see these differences in people. It's really about that individual and their character and the way they treat them and make them feel. So it's interesting to watch children grow and to kind of take on these societal views that they are not born with. And I think that's partly why we are seeing change in our country and why we're welcoming the change generally in a lot of ways, because the younger generations are coming through and not taking on the same views that our parents did. So that's about it. I think everybody did an awesome job. I hope you all have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in Module 2. So have a great night.